If you haven't already switched to Revolut, now is the perfect time. I use Revolut Personal to manage my everyday money, spending, saving, sending across borders. You can hold over 30 currencies, transfer internationally at great rates, and even earn daily interest on your savings. It's smart, fast, and used by more than 60 million people worldwide. And if you run a business, Revolut has even more powerful solutions. Revolut Business gives you a global account built for growth, multi-currency accounts, team cards, spending controls, international transfers, and easy ways to get paid. It's streamlined, affordable, and designed to scale with your business. Here's the best part. Sign up for Revolut Personal with my link below and join me on one of the most advanced money apps available. And if you're a founder or a business owner, use my Revolut Business referral link and get your first month with no subscription fees. Whether it's for your personal finances or your business, Revolut has you covered, all in one place. This is Justin West from Podcast Portugal. I'd like to extend a really warm welcome to Rita, or Rita, as my wife is also called Rita, so I get a lot of practice with that name.
Nice name.
Yeah, it's a beautiful name. And from Lisbon Art Agency. And I really fantastic and looking forward to this podcast because I'm super keen and I love art. So, Rita, what got you into the idea of launching Lisbon Art Agency, and sort of what gap did you feel needed to be filled in the Portuguese art ecosystem?
No, hi everybody. Hi, Justin. It's a pleasure to be here and to have this conversation with you. So first of all, let me just tell you that the proper name is Lisbon Art Office because, in fact, I like to look at it as an office. Many times people get a bit messy about the name and what it consists. Once it's not an art gallery, and it will never be an art gallery. All started around 6 or 7 years ago. I was working in comms and PR and marketing, and at some point it made the difference to do some changes. So I went and ran after them, and art was on the top of the goals to achieve. So I went to study again, and I realized that, probably because I'm coming from marketing, I realized that there was a gap on the market, on the Portuguese markets, on establishing a real and strength liaison between the corporate world or the brands and arts. Because I start looking at art as a tool, a marketing tool, a communication tool, besides all that art represents, all the beauty, all the concepts that we can create, starting from an art project, for instance. So I went to study again. I went to Nova School to study with the guys. And usually I run lots of exhibitions, mainly around Europe, and go to fairs in order to go and along with the markets and learning from them. So on what's happening and how they are doing. And this has been working well because this has been my line of work since the beginning. And these days it's very well understood. And I already have some interesting corporate clients. I also work with artists because for me it's makes all sense to support them, not only by offering my way of doing things or the way of or some sort of opening the market for them, but what makes sense is to create the structure, to make them have a real career, like building the bridge between a company, a brand, an organization, an institution, to give them support, and through that support they can grow their career and their way of doing things, of creating, evolving all the time.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's very interesting for brands, once again, for all the corporate worlds, to communicate with the audiences, with the clients through art, because it's these days, art is something that it's considered chic, posh, and when it's very well worked, we can establish and create a line of thinking, a line of dialoguing with the proper audience, with the proper people, with the proper public, in a way that it's makes and brings all the attention we want, in a way that's much more than creating an ad. It's something more plural than that. And besides that, another thing that I started doing, which is very interesting, is working on cultural projects in order to, bringing together several art forms, making them always start and feeding a dialogue and a conversation with imagined photography, painting, ceramics, music. Music is very important to be here too, and even literature and poetry. It's amazing what you can achieve when we mingle these kind of art forms, and people just get, wow, it's supreme, it's beautiful. And usually, I these days, in fact, not properly these days, but since 2 years from now until now, I start working with a very special sponsor of mine. I might say I might say it like that, which is Verit at Santa Catarina, the hotel. It belongs to a crazy guy, very, very interesting person who has an art foundation. He's Dutch.
Wow.
And this means that the reach, it's always on another level, which is very nice, because bringing different cultures, but meaning from different nationalities, it's so much richer than to only talk with the same language, because all of us, we have different we have different inputs to offer to a conversation. And what the thing most important in here is this kind of conversations that we create. We expand our thoughts. We go running after something bigger. And it's when you do this with all this pleasure, it's amazing. It's really, really amazing. I probably just went so far from the topic you sent me, but it's crazy. So please
No, that's
redirect me
fantastic.
again.
Because I personally, from when I'm doing my painting and stuff, as an artist, kind of, I want to be doing that. I do have a little bit of interest in doing websites and doing some of the promotional stuff, but as an artist, you're doing that kind of thing as an amateur, and it takes so much time, sort of reaching out in this digital age, reaching out to try to contact museums or galleries or even corporations. I've sort of reached out to as well, and as an artist, you need to be prepared to be knocked back a lot. And sometimes, yeah, sometimes you just want to be in the studio and doing the most important thing that's going to help your career, which is continuing to create. And I think you offer a really great service that alleviates some of the pain from the artist and some of the chore with expertise.
No, you're right. And one thing, I think it's very important, because I'm Portuguese, and one thing we have in our culture is, I don't know how to say it in English. It's some cultural statements, folklore statements. I don't know if it's a
Yeah.
proper term, but
Yeah.
there's one which says that there's a monkey for each home, something like this.
Yeah.
And this means that you are so good creating, and I'm not even anything like that. So I'm good doing what I do. You're very good doing what you do. So the right thing to do is, when you need to do the things I do, just call me. As well as when I need or when I want some art, I will go after you. I will not start painting. And I think it's interesting, because obviously all of us, we need to respect the other, obviously. And but we are here to help, to help you go further, which means that if you go, we also go further with you. And once we are not an art gallery, this is I don't know if it's simpler or if it's more free for me to work the way I do. I don't know I don't know. But what I mean is, I work with the artists and we work in parallel, we work together. So once I do not represent, imagine you or any artists, we develop projects, or in another way, I already have a very interesting artist networking, which means that when I have a corporation, an institution, a museum, whatever, that comes to me saying that I'm thinking on go and develop this project on this area, what do you suggest? What kind of artists do you suggest? Or when a collector wants to refresh the collection, comes to me and says something like that, similar. I need an artist, I need something like this. And what I do is, from my network, which is always and daily growing, because I can't stay closed, and that's the opposite of me. I always seeking around, looking for what's happening, who are the artists that are calling for my attention. And I know lots of them. I know the work you all do. So what's make it interesting for me is that I go and pick the ones who make sense for this collector, for this institution, for these projects, and then we develop and create everything that's involved there. I do all the commission work for that. And that's the way we do. When the project ends, obviously the door is open, the bridge is created, but we go along. And even if we start working with some a artist, when we finish, he can go and start working with someone else, some art gallery, some other supplier. I don't know how to call it, but it's the way we develop things.
Yeah.
And this is very interesting because from time to time, it happens several times. We obviously we develop a relation with, because this is two person. We are, me and you, we start like a relation. And once we are talking about arts, we always develop and do lots of conversations. We explore our thoughts on so many things that this means that we get closer to each other. We start knowing the other one who is in front of us. So when these kind of projects appear from the client, or when we decide, and we do this at least twice a year to create some bigger project in order to approach the markets with the goal of letting the market know who we are, we Lisbon Art Office, who we are, what we do, how we do it, what they can do with us, and where we go. We go and pick the artists once again that makes sense to be there. So it's always an open relationship, always coming and going, entering and leaving, which is very interesting. And it's independent at the same point. And it's very important for me, this kind of independency. We are a private company, so we live from our work. We work with companies. Some of them are our own suppliers and mecenas. I don't know the name in English, but this means we are absolutely independent. It's so refreshing to work like this because we can sit and create something that makes sense for you. And if it makes sense for us on these sides, we connect and start doing it and making it happen. And when it happens, it's wow. It's an incredible sensation. It's amazing.
Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. You create your own freedom in your own work to be expressive and to be adaptable and to offer something a little bit refreshing rather than the sort of typical four walls in one particular location.
Yes.
You
As well as we have this networking. Oh, I'm so sorry to interrupt.
No, continue. Love it.
No, but as well as we have this networking of artists, we also have another network in parallel with spaces, because for the venues, for everything to happen in the way it makes sense for us. Because imagine, once I come from marketing, when we develop a marketing project, we know that we have a goal to achieve. Then we come at something like we come to the beginning again, return to the beginning. Then we do all the step by step to reach that goal. So the way we develop or create or make a project happen, it's precisely like that. And everything has to make sense, including the space. because when we are when an artist is working on some kind of project evolving, or this kind of thoughts or concepts or colors or materials or wherever, the way or the place where it happens makes sense to be aligned with the art project itself, as well as the way we communicate, as well as with the wine we serve, as well as with the music we use on the Instagram stories. So everything is aligned. So it's interesting to make it happen, because it's very important. And on this side, on the backstage, we understand it like that. When you receive the message, it has to make full sense for you. And for this to happen, everything has to be 100% aligned. So this is the way we develop things and make them happen. So the space is very, very important for the exhibition itself.
Yeah. No,
Sometimes this part is not easy to achieve,
Mm-hmm.
but we kept running after to make it happen, to make it perfect
Great.
for the artists and for the exhibition or for the project that's happening there.
Brilliant, brilliant. And so that, what do you think the challenges emerging Portuguese artists? Well, actually, there's also a lot of international artists now that are moving to Lisbon. And what do you think the challenges they face today, and how do they sort of stay relevant and visual and offer sort of new, because it's quite difficult in the art world, because some people would say that everything has already been done. How do you make something new? And then we have sort of the other side of the argument. Well, we have a lot of digital technology. We have AI. We have a whole bunch of new media that we can use. How are you finding that artists are responding to to what's going on in the sort of modern world, and how do you think that they're finding their tools and to use?
Now, I think I don't agree with the one who says that everything is already invented. No, for me, it's precisely the opposite. For me, it's like you're looking at a white canvas uh, open there for you to work on it, So, but the thing is, besides that, which is very romantic, but we have to make it happen. The thing is, Portugal, Lisbon, but Portugal too. But we are a trend these days. So everybody wants to come here to exhibit, to create, and to show their work here. There's a very important point, which is we are a very small market, and the art market is a niche. So we have to. The starting point has to have that main point on the idea, because it's not arrive, create, exhibit, and sell. No, this is very difficult to happen. And at the same time, the speeds at how everything happens and moves, it's wow, it's like a Formula One car, it's crazy. So this means that we have to be always so focused on our work and our where we want to go, the way we want to do it, and what we want to achieve. This is important for us to have a structured mind, because that will be the support of our creation and the support of our thoughts in order to make something happen. If you are just going with the wind, it will never happen. And using all the technology that is available for us to use, it's a super tool. Instagram and all that's related to Instagram, it's a super tool in order to communicate with the audiences that make sense for us. But at the same point, you can't communicate only by yourself. It's important, very important, for the artist, emergent, for everyone, even for a company, even for Live in Art Office. It's very important to create and start creating this kind of networking of liaisons with the other people on the market. It's important to go to openings. It's important to go to see exhibitions. It's important to share that you are there, to start creating this network of yours. Start knowing people, because when you start, you are alone or with a small group of guys like you, and it's very important to make it grow bigger, because when you start doing this, everything gets larger and the impact you have goes bigger with in the same way. So
This episode of Podcast Portugal is brought to you by Flow Sports. If you're into jiu-jitsu, wrestling, rugby, cycling, basketball, and many more sports, Flow Sports have you covered. Stream live events, watch exclusive behind-the-scenes content, and dive into a world of top-tier sports coverage, all on one app. Don't miss a moment. Tap the link in the show notes to start watching with Flow Sports today.
this means that when you start creating and showing your work, you are not alone. You will be integrated in some kind of collective. And a collective has so much more strength communicating and showing that they exist than when you are doing all by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, you have to be very, very, very attentive. Pay attention to what's happening on the market for you to understand how it moves and how are the different layers, how they move, how they connect with each other, how they, the importance they give to the audiences inside. Meaning that you have to identify the right layer for you each time you create and you want to sell. You have to understand the right people, the right public where you mingle with, and how you want to go achieve your goal. It's very important to go through the right path, to create the right path for you. But that depends on you, artists. You have to be, you have to understand, you have to think, you have to run after that. Obviously, that's all the projects like Lisbon Art Office are helpful. But even for us who try to be always independent, it's important to have already a basis, because we need also to offer our clients, our audiences, and artists who offer them credibility, in order to offer them an artist who they believe, in order to make them sense and understand that if they buy from that artist, they will buy something from someone who is really working, who will not give up at some points, because it's always money you are spending.
Mm-hmm.
And if you create this step after step, it takes time, you will build this relation with the markets, with the partners in the markets, and it will be easier for you to make your message spreads and to make them go and caught the attention of the right ones, and to make them start looking at you with different eyes.
It's a very
That's
good
very
point.
important.
It's very good points, because I actually personally found, because we used to live in Ericeira and I had a studio there, and it meant that I could easily come into Lisbon and go to different galleries and events and make relationships. And then we sort of decided, for many reasons, to move to Alentejo and build the studio here. And I found I don't get that opportunity as much as I would like to go into Lisbon, because it's very centralized. A lot of the art and this type of creativity is very centered in Lisbon, and we feel a bit cut off,
No, I understand what you're saying, but I don't know if you are. By this time, the country itself has evolved, meaning that Lisbon continues being the heart of it. But we notice, in fact, it's more than we notice. We know that there are lots of more than emerging, but they are popping up art projects, art concepts around the country. And Alentejo is one of them. I don't know in which part you are, but Évora, for instance, which will be a cultural capital
it's fantastic.
next year, no, on 27, I think, they are working and creating working on creating a very interesting networking of artists, of events, of cultural movements. So everything it's moving there.
Yeah.
And you also have mostly, I don't know if mostly, I can't be, I don't want to be rude, but several projects, one's from foreign people living in Alentejo, with interesting collections that are in Alentejo.
Okay.
Some of them aligned with winery, for instance, and
right.
everything's moving. And Alentejo is very posh for the Portuguese, and for the foreign people living here, and the ones who doesn't live here. So
Okay.
I think you can. I think there are lots of things very interesting happening there.
Great.
Even imagine Ponte de Sor, far from the center, far from Lisbon, has a cultural movement very interesting, and this means that some Brazilian guys, for instance, are being caught to work there, to exhibit there. So
Okay.
you are in the heart of something new, which is very interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's part of the
Really,
reason I set up this podcast was to learn more and to be more integrated, to listen to people, because I think sometimes it's quite hard to locate things and to understand what's going on in especially for a foreigner. I think often
yeah.
you don't necessarily have the tools or the family connections or the greater
Yes,
network of people that are saying, you should look into this or look into that. So it's really nice to hear. That's really good. I know that in Sines there's a museum of
yes,
modern art.
yeah. It's
And yeah, there's a little gallery. I don't remember the guy's name, but we went and visited a little gallery in Evere. And that was always a nice little place to go to. Um,
no, in Everett you have Plato. Probably
that's
you are
it,
talking.
Plato, exactly. Yeah, it was a few years ago we went, so I don't remember the gent's name, but yeah, that was a nice little place. We were talking about something, but the problem was it's not a very big place, and my paintings are massive, so we, we were trying to think of how to exhibit them there, because they're so big.
No, but you have. I don't know if these ones are the right one for you, or I don't know. In
Hmm.
fact, how do they work in a daily basis? But you have Casa Cadaval. You have they also have the house as a museum. They also have one of the sisters works and develops very interesting projects,
Hmm.
and you have it's another thing that's probably, I'm not sure, it might be easier to do there
Hmm.
than in here,
Yeah.
is to use the heritage to exhibit, because that happens, for instance, in Coimbra. We go there and we find amazing exhibitions inside 500 years buildings, which were,
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know, belonging to the university since its beginning or early days. It's I don't s I will not say that it's very easy to make it
Yeah.
happen,
Yeah.
but it's so much easier than in Lisbon. They are
Okay.
open to it.
Yeah.
And might in Alentejo, and I know that you have to go and look for it, but there's a Portuguese institution, let's call it like that, which deals and manages the art events and the culture, mainly not the art events, culture around Alentejo.
Okay.
And they have identified all the heritage, in fact, all the real estate. I don't know if it's the proper way to say
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
but
That's right.
for the very ancient buildings, they have all it identified in Alentejo. So they are very open to do something,
Hmm.
because this means that it's something that I like very much. It's always a win-win situation. It's an easy way to say, an easy sentence, but it's in fact it is like that, because if you create some project for them or with them, they will bring you with your art will bring so much more people and different ones to see this heritage that
Yeah.
we have in the country. So they will probably will be very interested in doing things like with you, because for them it will be interesting, because they will gather there uh, an amount of people so much different from the ones who usually go, and it's a way of communicate, showing that it exists, and the potentiality of this heritage, that
Yeah.
it's so honored for us to use and to live and to present it to the world.
Yeah.
So I can look to find the guys who are doing that, and I can send it to you later.
Fantastic. Yeah, so kind. Love your positivity. It's really nice. You start to get me very excited.
No, because it's when I say this is like a white canvas, I'm not joking.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is. Everything is there.
I think
We just have to go and look for them,
yeah,
and develop and creating projects to develop and to make it happen with these guys.
yeah.
And because it's difficult, because all of us, we have our daily basis of work we have to do.
Mhm.
When you want to do different things, it's not that easy for you to develop them. But if when you get them with the projects, they will open you with they will
Yeah.
welcome you with open
You need to
arms.
just try, don't you? You need to just go for it. And
Yes,
yeah,
yes, because everything is there waiting.
yeah,
Really, really, it's fantastic.
it's a
And when
beautiful
you go
message.
there with your smile and the way believing on you bring with you, they will believe with you. So they will work to make it happen. Even in Mervin, for instance, there's a wonderful festival every August in a it's once a year. Yes, I think it's every year is in August, and they gather the tapestry inside ancient church,
Ah,
the
yeah,
basilica,
yeah, yeah. I've been
and they
there.
play
Yeah,
music. It's absolutely wonderful. It's surreal how
yeah,
beautiful it is. So you see, everything is there. We just have to make it happen.
yeah. Yeah, it's definitely an up and coming area. That Marval area. It's recent years is really starting to happen. Lots of new galleries there, and
Yeah, yeah.
I love that area. It's very nice. No, so let's go. Let's make something in Alentejo. So that will be amazing. Yeah, really beautiful. I love that positivity. It's so true. You have to go through it. You have to try to balance all of your daily requirements and but also live for your dream. You need to just keep pursuing, keep doing what you need to do,
Yes.
and yeah, I love that message.
No, that's it. You can't stop. You were asking I don't know, an advice. Who am I to give advice? But to
Wow,
the
you're the
emergent
best one.
artist, but never stop.
Yeah,
Never stop.
yeah, I think
That's
that's it. I often feel this with the podcast sometimes, because it takes a lot to keep it going. It's a lot of work, and but you just keep progressing. I think this episode will be episode 48, I believe. So we've done
oh,
48 interviews. Yeah,
congratulations.
and that's just in a year, but we've seen just crazy growth, and I think it's literally just got to keep pursuing it, and in this world eventually things open up for you, and I think it's a good message for sure.
No, no, they do open up for you. They do. It's not eventually. They do open
Yeah.
up for you. But obviously, there are some good days and there are some bad days. Obviously, we are not laughing all the time.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's like that. When you believe and you want, you have to make it happen. It's on you.
yeah,
That it's nothing can be different, but it's on you.
yeah, so
And but
true.
it happens if you believe and if you go and pursue it. It happens
Yeah.
because everyone wants to offer something different to the other.
Mhm.
Because everything once again it's a repeat circle, and everyone, and these days it's something crazy, but these days everyone is looking for an experience.
Mhm, mhm.
People need to feel,
Yeah.
because I don't know, probably because of the social media and all the technology, it's easy for people to be separated from the other.
Mhm.
So probably, I don't know, because of that, the sense of feeling it has grown in such an amazing and
Very true.
huge dimension. So if you think like that, when you do an art exhibition of your work, you are you have so many feelings, so many sentiments, so many of you inside of that. And if people go and see and feel it, it's incredible. You almost feel and see the energy flowing and coming and going. And it's
I've
important for
always felt
people.
like that. An exhibition is like it's an excuse for people that don't know each other to stand in front of a painting and strike up a conversation. It's a
Yes.
great way for communities to connect. It's a great way for international communities to connect with local communities, and yeah,
No, it is.
it's a very nice
And
message.
yeah, and it's interesting because it allows you to manifest your point of view, which
Hmm.
can be so different from mine,
Yeah.
and we can laugh at it, or we
Hmm.
can, I don't know, get
Get
angry with
angry.
each other. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a conversation, it's a
Yeah.
dialogue.
Yeah.
That's
Important.
what makes us evolve,
Yeah. Beautiful.
do the next step. So
Beautiful.
it's incredible the power that art has for that.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You are you artists are incredible guys because what you create involves sentiments and yet that kind of experience, which is so special.
Mm, mm. Well, I'd actually call you an artist as well, because you create events and you create things and happenings, and actually, even today, you are opening a new exhibition today. Is that right? Do you want to tell people where it's going to be and how to find out
Yes,
more about
yes,
it?
yes, of course, with pleasure. Since the beginning, in fact, that's the trigger. At least when Art Office was with a photographer, a Brazilian one. So photography has a very special place within our work, and I always loved photography, but these days it's like a passion.
Mhm.
So the opening today, it's a photography exhibition. Oh, sorry. The photographer is a very well-known director. He came from publicity. He has several awards. He won several awards during his career. He started directing. Um, I don't know the name in English for curtas. You know, it's a small movie,
Okay. Yeah.
more
Yeah. Cuts.
more
Yeah. Like.
shorter than the regular
Yeah. Yeah.
ones.
Short. Oh, yeah. I've forgotten the word as well. Like. Yeah, but I know what you mean. Yeah.
It's a short. I don't know
Yeah.
the
Short
proper name.
films. Short films. I think.
Short film,
Yeah.
precisely. So it's very interesting to see how his brain, moved in the photography direction, which makes sense. It's a path. Once again, makes sense. But he started working the photography. It's very experimental, which is so interesting because he's free of any kind of preconception, and he works and creates using several elements from our daily basics. It's like taking on art povera from the painting or from the sculpture or whatever, and make it happen in the photography worlds. So you have amazing. You have. I'm remembering of an amazing one, which was taken using a Pyrex. You know, it's a he put it in front of him, in front of the object he was photographing, and it was the effect. It's incredible, and he plays with the lenses and all that. So it's very very experimentalist. So it's incredible by that, and he's very independent. Once again, he's not playing with any kind of preconception. So the photography is incredible. He calls it o meu lado parado, which is something like my still sides, because as a director, his work and the way the result of his work is something which has image moving, and when he photographs, it stopped. Right, it's a photograph, and it opens today. It's our opening today, and it will be there at Santa Catarina in near Chiado in Lisbon until the last day of November, until the 30th of November. And if you go to our page, Lisbon Art Office on Instagram, you have all the information there. Even the schedule and all that. I also mention you that it's a pleasure to welcome you or whomever would like to come in a different timetable. Just call me, and obviously we will open the door for you. It's a pleasure to welcome and to present the work and to do a private tour or whatever. It's a pleasure. But it's very interesting. This kind of photography exhibition, very very interesting. Please go after the Alentejo guys. I will send you the contacts, the names,
Oh,
and all
thank
that
you.
I can find, because it makes difference to have someone which grab things and make them happen. And
Great.
thank you.
Yeah, well, it's hopefully like I have some ideas to make the podcast. We're going to have an event every year, invite all the guests, the listeners, and also our sponsors and our advertisers. Get them everybody together, have a nice dinner, some wine,
No.
and then also have some art there as well. So
Oh,
that's
nice,
one of the plans
nice,
for the future.
nice,
So
perfect.
thank you so much.
No, I do. Thank
Thank
you.
you. That
Bye
contact
bye.
would be amazing. All right, Rita. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Justin West Podcast, Portugal, thanking Rita for her time and her positivity. What a great energy. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rita. Ciao.
Under the rock, I'm gonna dig a hole and hide all my magazines. All those spots are not obscene. I just need some time, some focusing. I got the pen, I got the sheet, I got my plan, I got my